Good morning. I'm Professor Kevin Dunn, the Pro Vice-Chancellor of Research at Western Sydney University, where I am responsible for global rankings, including those of the Times Higher Education Impact Rankings, which measure the performance of universities against the UN Sustainability Development Goals. I'd like to welcome esteemed guests and colleagues, the Honourable Minister for Education. I'd also like to say hello to President Wang and the other senior staff of the Chinese Culture University and the presidents and senior staff of universities affiliated with the University Digital Deepening Sustainable Education Alliance, and of course also the Taiwan Sustainable Education Alliance. And a special thank you to Richard Fang, Dean, College of Sustainability and Innovation at CCU, for the invitation to myself on behalf of Western University to speak at this important forum. I'd like to start by saying Budjari Mulanao Warami. I just said to you, good morning and welcome in the local Aboriginal language of where I live. Darug people, I thank for the gift that is this land, and on behalf of Western Sydney University, acknowledge the Darug, but also the Gandangara and Tharawal peoples for their stewardship over many centuries of the lands and rivers along which our campuses at Western Sydney University are located. It's a great pleasure to provide this presentation for this important event. What brings us together are the urgent global challenges of our times: social inequality, climate change, pandemics, disasters, and geopolitical tensions. We're also facing the unprecedented tests as a planetary community as we continue to grapple with the after effects and the continuing challenges of COVID-19. This meeting is an opportunity to explore how partnerships can advance the Sustainability Development Goals, the SDGs, in particular, the role that universities can play in driving change. The forum brings a range of perspectives and a wealth of experience, all focused on the urgent need to work together. The world, unfortunately, is not on track to meet its 2030 SDG targets. There's no time to waste. It takes global and national leadership connected to villages, communities, family, and children, motivated by our shared responsibility to this and future generations. Collaboration is the key. Universities are well placed to drive the global SDGs. They provide the educational opportunity for students to acquire the knowledge and skills needed to promote development and provide access to tertiary education to disadvantaged groups as well, to build awareness of privilege, to facilitate progressive coalitions and cultures of allyship. On the 27th of April last year at the Innovation and Impact Summit in Stockholm, the Times Higher Education announced that my university, Western Sydney University, was ranked first in the world in the 4th ever Times Higher Education rankings. And with that ranking came an extraordinary opportunity, a platform for us to reach out to universities, business, government, and civil society to pose the question: how can we collectively leverage knowledge, power, resources, and privilege to shift the dial on the SDGs? Today, I'd like to comment on the basis of our success in this ranking, the importance of this work in sustainability, the role of higher education in pressing the UN SDG agenda, and the critical importance of partnering and collaboration. I'd like to recognise the wonderful outcomes of the Taiwanese higher education sector in these rankings as well, with 46 Taiwanese universities receiving an overall score, 9 universities in the top 302 Taiwanese universities ranked in the top 50 in the world, National Cheng Kung and the National Taiwan Universities. Congratulations. This is a great outcome for your sector. I extend my congratulations on your participation and commitment. Why are these rankings important? For those unaware, if you're not in the university sector, the Times Higher Education Impact Rankings are rather different from other rankings tables for the higher education sector. And I've already congratulated the THE for having the foresight and courage to develop these impact rankings. They use indicators across 4 broad areas: research, teaching, stewardship, how we manage ourselves, and outreach and engagement. They issue a challenge to universities to publicly state their impacts and commitments to social, economic, and environmental sustainability. In last year's impact rankings, over 1,400 universities received a score, which is based on 241 individual data points. Our submission at Western made 463 links to our procedures, policies, and case studies, and we were thrilled that the extraordinary contributions from our staff, students, and partners delivered this global recognition. We achieved a top 50 ranking in 13 out of the 17 SDGs. First in the world for clean water and sanitation, second in the world for responsible consumption and production, third in the world for gender equality, fourth in the world for reduced inequalities, and fifth in the world for partnering for the goals. The impact rankings are intended to lift the university's sector's contribution to SDGs. Our ranking provides an opportunity to exchange and share great practice with our peers and inspire further action. The number one ranking is less important than what we have done next and the partnerships we've built to make a difference. So what was our approach to sustainability? The result did not come from an empty space. Western has long-standing history in sustainability, stretching back to our foundations and how the university was conceived. Western's active establishment mandates that we be a global university for our region. We are an anchor institution that is embedded in the economic, cultural, and social life of Western Sydney, one of the fastest growing, most economically important, and most culturally diverse regions within Australia. This is a region that also experiences firsthand many of the sustainability resilience challenges of the 21st century, such as rapid urban growth, urban heat, entrenched inequality. This makes Western Sydney University uniquely placed to help drive vitally important social transformations. Our strategic plan is titled Sustaining Success, and we have a decadal strategy for sustainability. That strategy is titled Sustainability and Resilience 2030, and it sets out an ambitious roadmap to address climate adaptation and social inequality across all our areas of work: curriculum, operations, research, and engagement. Western have worked for many years on our curriculum, operations, and research to address these complex challenges, and I'll now outline those across those domains. In teaching and learning, our curriculum work sits across all disciplines, arts as well as science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Western are developing sustainability literate graduates through a whole of university graduate attribute, a graduate attribute for sustainability embedded in every program. We run a sustainability micro-credential titled Think, Care, Do, available for our international students, as well as for Australian and domestic students in 2023. These teaching and learning initiatives educate about the SDGs, but also they generate graduates to do SDG work, experts in maternal health, etc. And we emphasize education for SDGs, lifelong and independent learning. We intend to empower our students with the critical skills and systemic competencies to make positive change in the world, to add breadth to discipline depth through their formal learning process. Universities can also contribute to the achievement of the SDGs by modelling sustainable practice in their operations, ensuring their campuses and major programs are environmentally sustainable, including being carbon neutral, fully committed to circular economies, and providing stewardship to the regions where they are located. And we have done this. Following the university's commitment to the UN-led Race to Zero for Universities and Colleges challenge, Western committed to achieve carbon neutrality by 2023, and we have met that commitment. We are now carbon neutral as a university. We plan to be climate positive by 2029. Our campus electricity supplies were 100% renewables from accredited green power by July last year. We are developing a 5-year carbon transition plan, and our carbon farming portfolio is underway. We are continuing our transition to only Green Star accredited CBD campuses and buildings, including all new buildings. And we are on track on other operational targets, including the use of non-potable water, a 60% aim, green organic waste diversion, 100% is our aim, and an EV hybrid vehicle fleet of 75% is also our aim. The latter is assisted by our rollout of EV charging infrastructure, solar car parks, and rooftop PV. Universities undertake research that provides solutions to the grand challenges of sustainable development, climate change, social injustice, integrity, and good governance. Through this, our sector can deliver enduring progress. Our world-leading researchers at Western Sydney University are involved in tackling important issues of housing affordability, housing insecurity, particularly the impact on marginalised groups like single older women. Our multidisciplinary Urban Transformations Research Centre is leading research into sustainable, equitable, and resilient urban communities and helping to support the rapid and sustainable growth of Western Sydney. Other research projects initiatives across the university advance the work of the SDGs. For instance, Western has world-leading research on groundwater and community livability in rural India, microbial engineering to enhance food security, a national research project on challenging racism, and community intervention programs to improve the health of Pacifica peoples with diabetes in southwestern Sydney. We'll talk about some of those for a moment. In 2022, the university joined a consortium of regional partners in a $15 million decarbonisation innovation hub. As a core partner, the university is working to fast-track the research, development, and adoption of decarbonisation technology and practices for land and primary industries across the state of New South Wales, helping the New South Wales government to achieve its goal of net zero emissions by 2050. Western Sydney University is proud to jointly lead the collaborative Australia-India Water Centre, which has a common goal of addressing the critical challenge of water security, sanitation, water management, and distribution in a warming climate. It established MAVI, the Managing Aquifer Recharge and Sustaining Groundwater Use through Village-Level Intervention program, focused on engaging village communities to monitor, use, and manage groundwater at the village level. This has been scaled up to 20,000 villages through the Australia Water Partnership in the Atal Bhujal Yojana National Groundwater Management Improvement Program. The globally esteemed Challenging Racism project is based at Western Sydney University. Our region is one of the most culturally diverse regions in Australia. Since 2002, that project supports a new generation of anti-racism researchers and practitioners, partnering with government, with non-government, community organisations to enhance intergroup relations and anti-racism initiatives. The project was the recipient of 3 global awards: the 2015 Peace App, first in the world, the 2014 Intercultural Innovation Award, second in the world, and first prize in the Real Screen Diversity and Inclusion Award for non-fiction work for dealing with diversity and inclusion. What more can universities do? Universities have a crucial role in delivering the leaders of tomorrow for a more just, socially inclusive, and resilient world. It is estimated that only 2% of the world's populations attend a university, and yet these graduates make up 80% of the decisions that shape our society. How we educate these leaders is vital, and adopting the SDGs as an aspirational and transformative framework has been a core platform of this work. Universities can provide access to tertiary education for disadvantaged groups, build awareness of privilege, facilitate coalitions and cultures of allyship. We are proud at Western Sydney that 64% of our students are the first in their family to attend a university. This is facilitated by a widening participation program across the region with schools and using pathway programs to higher education, recognised in our rankings in SDG 10 for reduced inequalities and SDG 4 for quality education. Access and equity for students is in our lifeblood. The sector can also provide significant leadership in supporting and promoting the principles of SDGs. This thought leadership should be international, national, and local. In 2022, last year, Western embarked on our Public Thought Leadership event series to do this work. Do log in and have a look. The series makes visible the work being undertaken across the university as part of our sustainability and resilience decadal strategy. Universities can also be role models for good governance, transparency, evaluation, and evidence-based program development, and also work with government in supporting policy development and delivery. At Western, we have resolved to prioritise collaboration. Rankings are competitive, but advancing the SDGs calls for collaboration, and that is our focus. In May of 2022, our Vice Chancellor and President, Professor Barney Glover, stated this. He said, Western would not have achieved this outcome without the collaboration with our international partners across the world. He said, I believe that we can only make a difference to the complex problems facing the planet if we collaborate. By bringing together our best researchers and educators, we can develop solutions that are needed to sustain the generations to come. The SDGs were developed to be transformative global agenda that challenges the higher education sector to collaboratively and meaningfully deliver systemic change. Western believe that we can only make a difference to the complex problems facing the planet if we bring together our best researchers and educators to work together on this agenda. Western Sydney University is excited about further joint projects with Taiwanese universities as we continue to build our academic and research collaborations. The relationship between our partner institutions is one of warmth, cooperation, and collegiality. Western Sydney University look forward to successful partnerships and to provide an intergenerational legacy that we can be proud of. Thank you.